Hi there. It's January 13th and time for Proverbs 13. So, over this, we're deep into the Proverbs now. As usual, in the first verse, a wise son hears his father's instruction, but a scoffer does not listen to rebuke. Right? They're always right. Right? Okay, verse 2. We've been talking about this a lot. From the fruit of his mouth, a man eats what is good, but the desire of the treacherous is for violence. Right? There's a note over here. If he uses his tongue to God's glory and the profit of his neighbor, God shall bless him. Right? Say kind things. Only think kind things. Say kind, uplifting, edifying, and the fruit of your mouth will come back to you. Right? Whoever guards his mouth preserves his life. He who opens wide his lips comes to ruin. Right? 99% of the time, it's best to just keep your mouth shut. Right? Guard your mouth. Preserve your life. The soul of the sluggard craves and gets nothing, while the soul of the diligent is richly supplied. Right? Those who work, eat. The righteous hate falsehood. Let's make these yellow today. The righteous, more about the righteous, right? All about the righteous, hates falsehood. But the wicked brings shame and disgrace. Shame. Stench. Slander and shame. 6. Righteousness guards him whose way is blameless. Right? But sin overthrows the wicked. Righteousness. One pretends to be rich, yet has nothing. Another pretends to be poor, yet has great wealth. Both of these people are wrong, okay? There are people that pretend to be rich. They drive big fancy cars. They want everybody to think they've got something when they truly have nothing, okay? Yeah. And there's other people that pretend to be poor, and I've known some of these people, right? Drive old cars and wear old beat-up clothes, and they have millions of dollars in the bank that they don't want to share with anyone. Opposite people, right? 8. The ransom of a man's life is his wealth, but a poor man hears no threat. The rich people, somebody's always after you or your money, right? If you're poor, people tend to leave you alone. Good words. The light of the righteous rejoices, but the lamp of the wicked will be put out. Righteous. I like that. By insolence comes nothing but strife, but those who take advice is wisdom. With those who take advice is wisdom. Only by pride doth a man make contention. When, as every man contends to have a preeminence and will not give place to another. Right? Insolence. If you're thinking you know everything and you won't listen to anybody, right? Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. Right? People that win the lottery, 99% of them in less than a year are broke and are more in debt than they were than if they had never won the lottery. Right? 99%. Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, or by fraud. Right? 12. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a desire fulfilled is a tree of life. Right? Hope deferred, put off, right? It's just, you get tired of waiting, right? Whoever despises the word brings destruction on himself, but he who reveres the commandment will be rewarded. I'm going to take the color off of that just because we're doing something else for yellow, right? Yeah. You know, people who despise the word, the Bible, God, right? They bring destruction on themselves. If you revere the commandment, the word will be rewarded. And you will. The teaching of the wise is a fountain of life, that one may turn away from the snares of death. Listen to wise people. A truly wise person will rarely speak, but when they do speak, you need to listen to them. Right? 15, good sense wins favor, but the way of the treacherous is their ruin. Right? You have good sense. Right? It's common sense, they call it now. 16, every prudent man acts with knowledge, but a fool flaunts his foolishness. Folly, right? 17, a wicked messenger falls into trouble, but a faithful envoy brings healing. All right? Plenty of those out there on the internet, especially today. Right? Faithful envoy brings healing. You say nice things, uplifting things, edifying things. Right? It's a faithful envoy. You are an envoy. As a Christian, you are an envoy, and you can say uplifting things. You can bring healing. Or you can be a wicked messenger that falls into trouble. Good stuff, huh? 18, poverty and disgrace come to him who ignores instruction, but whoever heeds reproof is honored. Right? I know how to do this. You can't tell me. Right? Mm-hmm. 19, a desire fulfilled is sweet to the soul, but to turn away from evil is an abomination to fools. Right? Some people love it so much. 20, that's a good one. Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm. Right? It's like iron sharpens iron in another part of Proverbs. If you want to be wise, hang around wise people. Follow wise people. Companion of fools will suffer harm. 21, disaster pursues sinners, but the righteous are rewarded with good. Right? Right? In a famous verse, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but the sinner's wealth is laid up for the righteous. Read Job. Right? Now, this is a famous one. People think, oh, you're no good unless you leave money to your grandchildren. That's not what inheritance is. Okay? Solomon never talks about leaving money. He talks about wealth being the result of wisdom, right? The inheritance you want to leave your grandchildren is the knowledge of Jesus Christ and fear of the Lord, right? That is an inheritance worthy. And as grandparents, you can do that. You can talk to them about Jesus, right? And fear of the Lord and following the way, right? And your own kids, if they know you, they know you're going to talk about those things. That's the inheritance you leave your grandchildren. Hey, 23, the fallow ground of the poor would yield much food, but it is swept away through injustice. Right? There's a lot of the land. The government won't let people farm it. 24, this is a famous verse. Whoever spares the rod hates his son, but he who loves him is diligent to discipline him. Or disciplines him early. That's what I always say. You have to teach your kids from 1-year-old to 8 years old. By the time they're 8, they should know right from wrong. They should know respect. They should know honor. They should, right? Otherwise, it's cute when they're kids, but when they're teenagers doing these things, it's no longer cute, right? And 25, the righteous has enough to satisfy his appetite, but the belly of the wicked suffers want. Right? They're never satisfied. So, there you go. Let's go over all the righteous ones, all right? Put all these righteous things together at some point and have this huge list that'll take pages and pages to put the righteous. And we studied, look at yesterday's video, we studied what righteousness actually is, okay? The righteous hates falsehood. That's true. Righteousness guards him whose way is blameless. The light of the righteous rejoices. Okay? The righteous are rewarded with good. The righteous has enough to satisfy his appetite. Right? Righteousness is a wonderful attribute to attain, to aspire to. Okay, what else is highlighted in here? This is important. From the fruit of his mouth, a man eats what is good, but the desire of the treacherous is for violence. Right? The things you say will come back to you, good or bad. If you only say good things, then good will come back to you. Okay, one of the main things in wisdom in all of Solomon is to be humble and to be kind. Okay? If you're humble and kind, you will always come out on top. Okay? Important stuff in 3. Whoever guards his mouth preserves his life. He who opens wide his lips comes to ruin. Right. He that openeth his lips, destruction shall be to him. Right. Most of the time, it's best not to say anything. Okay. Especially on the internet. I mean, somebody says something stupid, and I'm gonna get back and talk back at him. You start a huge argument, and just keep scrolling. Okay. Just keep scrolling. Okay. You don't know that person. That person doesn't know you. What he says shouldn't hurt you. Okay. It's wrong. Well, he's wrong. It tells us all over Proverbs what's going to happen to these people that are wrong. Right? The wicked brings shame and disgrace. Stench. The wicked brings a stink. You like that? 7's highlighted. 1 pretends to be rich, yet has nothing. Another pretends to be poor, yet has great wealth. Makes himself poor. What's that say over here? Right. And if somebody was rich or millionaires, okay, I've known some millionaires in my travels, in my life, that you would look at them and it looks like they have nothing. They don't even smell good, okay? They stink and they're dirty and they drive these old beat up cars and they have millions and millions of dollars in the bank. Okay? And that's not a good thing, okay? They don't want to share. It's mine, okay? And at the end of their life, they will wonder what they did. Nothing is what they did, right? 8 is highlighted. The ransom of a man's life is his wealth, but a poor man hears no threat, right? Over here it says, a man will give his riches for the ransom of his life, but the poor cannot hear the reproach, right? For his poverty, he is not able to escape the threatenings for which the cruel oppressors use against him, right? And they can't hear the threat if there is a threat. Right? Righteous. 11. Wealth gained hastily will dwindle or by fraud, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it, right? Save little by little. And when you're old, you'll be surprised. Right? Hard to do nowadays. Right? But we know people that come into sudden wealth very, very rarely hold on to it for long. It always dwindles and dwindles very quickly, right? I want to live like this millionaire, and you buy a big house and a big car, and pretty soon the money's gone. And then you're deep in debt, right? And you long for the little house and your little Chevy that you used to drive and the peace that you used to have. 12 is highlighted. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but the desire fulfilled is a tree of life. Right? It's just a statement. Right? Hope is put off. Waiting, man, I've been waiting so long. And they said it was going to happen, but when it finally does happen, it's tree of life. Okay. 13, a warning. Whoever despises the word brings destruction on himself. He who reveres the commandment, it will be a awarded, right? Revere these words, honor these words as truth spoken by God, right? 16, part of it's highlighted. Every prudent man acts with knowledge, right? But a fool flaunts his foolishness. Right. These people can be funny to watch, too. A wicked messenger falls into trouble, but a faithful envoy brings healing. Okay, we're all envoys. We're all messengers. Okay. Once you're a Christian, you have Jesus. You become a messenger to tell other people about Jesus. Okay. A faithful envoy, one who says kind words and brings healing. Right. 20 is highlighted. Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm. Right. You want to be wise? Walk with the wise. Hang around wise people. Okay. And a wise person, a humble person, is always willing to take you in and teach you. Okay. That's why they are wise. Okay. 22 is highlighted. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but the sinner's wealth was laid up for the righteous. This inheritance is knowledge, fear of the Lord, righteousness that we're talking about. Being humble, being kind. That's the inheritance you want to leave your grandchildren. Okay? Not money. Right? Why do you want to not leave money to your grandchildren? It says up here. Wealth gained hastily will dwindle. Okay? It won't last. Knowledge, fear of the Lord, Jesus, humbleness, that will last. Okay? 24, whoever spares the rod hates his son, but he who loves him is diligent to discipline him. Right? Discipline your kids. If they need a swat, give them a swat, but afterwards, give them a hug. Right? That's how I raised my kids. When they got a swat, they knew they had done wrong and deserved it. But afterwards came the hug and the love. Right? My kids turned out great. Okay? The belly of the wicked suffers want. Right? Never satisfied. Never satisfied. So, there you go. That's Proverbs 13. Tune later. Let's see what we're doing through the New Testament in a year here. The second half of Matthew 9. So, Jesus doing all his miracles. Okay, we're deep into Jesus' the height of his ministry. So, where he heals thousands and thousands of people. Okay? So many that if the books were written about it, John says the universe could not hold all the volumes. Right? Because every person he healed has a story to tell. Right? And many stories don't get told. Jesus said he healed hundreds and hundreds of people, but every single person that got healed has a story to tell. Okay? You know, I was sick, now I'm well. So, we have it. Give us a like if you think about it. And stay tuned later today for our Through the New Testament in a Year. But until tomorrow, we'll keep going. See ya.